Yo, what's going on, Valoramous Vanguards? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another tutorial video on the DDJ-FLX10. And in today's tutorial, we're going to cover the 5 must-know DJ transitions that you should implement into your DJ workflow on the DDJ-FLX10 or really any other piece of DJ equipment. But because the DDJ-FLX10, like the DDJ-1000, has the pad modes, you will find great utility in some of these transitions in order to optimize, economize, and improve your DJ workflow and your DJ transitions. And make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to cover a special trick that you can utilize to end your DJ sets. So, the 5 transitions that I think are very common and that you should know as a DJ are going to be scratching a track on the 1 beat. This is more of an intermediate transition, but I think it can be done, especially with just a simple baby scratch. The echo out, a backspin, a bass swap, and then loops. Now, loops, you can either do an acceleration loop, which I'm going to cover at the end, which you can utilize to end your sets in a grand climatic fashion. And I'm also going to cover the instrumental beat section of tracks where you can loop that section, and then that can pave the way for a transition to another track. You can incorporate elements of multiple of these transitions. For example, you could have an instrumental loop playing on repeat and then scratch drop track on the 1. You could have an instrumental loop playing on repeat, backspin that out, and then scratch drop on the 1. You could have an instrumental loop playing on repeat, echo out, and then play the next track without scratching it. So you get creative, and there's multiple things you can do. You can also add different effects such as reverbs and delays and echoes on these transitions. But I think these 5 transitions are must-knows as a DJ in 2026. And I think that you should strive to become an expert at all these transitions. And then you can simply utilize these transitions throughout the night or you're playing live as a DJ. Okay, so now we're going to cover the 5 transitions that you must know. Bird's eye view, I'm going to show you how I do this as a DJ. So the first one is going to be scratch dropping a track on the 1. So if I want to scratch drop a track, what I'm generally doing is I'm scratching that song, and then as I drop the track, I'm closing the fader towards B, and I have these crossfader assign buttons on the left side that are to A, which is over here, and to B, it's over here. So when I scratch drop this on the 1, it drops the track. So here's what this will look like. I'm just gonna show you a very basic version. I have camera set up in the way, so I'm gonna try to do this, but. So if I wanna scratch drop this track, it's gonna look something like this. Like that. Now I was a bit off time, but that's because I have a tripod in the way, but let me try that one more time. There, that was on time. So that's how I scratch drop a track on the 1. So that's the first transition that you should begin to incorporate. Again, you can do it with the baby scratch. So I really recommend that you start there. These scratch drops on the 1 transitions are very effective if it's a very popular track, if it's a banger track. A lot of times the audience, they like to be surprised with this. So this works really well in genres such as hip hop. But you can do it in EDM as well. So the next transition that you should be aware of is going to be the backspin. You can do this manually, or you can do it with the beat effects. I'm going to show you what this looks like. So manually, this will sound like this. And you want to close the fader as you do that, and then you can start the next track. So then you start the next track. That's how you would do that. So let me do that one more time. Transition. An easier way though is going to be to do it with the pad effects. It's just much easier. And it'll ensure that you also time it correctly. So here's what this will sound like. Transition. So that's backspin. So the next is gonna be echo. You can do an echo out effect. And you kind of want to count the echo, and then you can start the next track. So that's an echo transition. Now, I'm only showing you one transition at a time, but again, you can incorporate multiple transitions. So what you could be doing is you could be doing which is gonna be the fourth transition. It's called a bass swap transition, but you could do a bass swap transition with the fifth transition, which is a loop, and then you can echo out or backspin as you're doing the transition. So don't just think one-dimensionally with these transitions. You can do 2 and 3D transitions with this, but right now I'm just showing you just a singular transition. So the next one's gonna be a bass swap transition. So typically what will happen is in EDM, DJs will mix over 16 bars and do a bass swap. So this is what this will sound like. So the second track will be set to no bass, the out, which is the incoming track, and the volume will be set here. The outgoing track will have full bass and full volume, and this will start on the first beat of the outro. This will start on the first beat of the intro, track 2, or the incoming song. It'll sound like this. And you'll do this over 16 bars. Generally, bring the volume up. And then you want to do a bass swap. I swap the bass, and then you're going to drop. So you want to practice that transition, but you can see with this transition, you can loop the outgoing song, and you can incorporate these pad modes with either a backspin or an echo. You can do something else. So you can you can combine 2 or 3 of these transitions and basically make it a super transition. So that is the bass swap. And then the fifth transition can be a loop. So with loops, if you come across a section that can repeat, like I have a loop activated right now. It's this loop button right here. This is a loop. It's just playing 4 bars or 16 beats, but that's a loop. So with this loop, you can then start your next transition. So I just incorporated a loop with a bass swap, and then that was a backspin, but you could do the backspin on this outgoing song. So incorporate several transitions, but that was a loop transition. And now I'm gonna show you the special effect that I sometimes do with my tracks if I want to create a grand finale. And this is the acceleration loop. And I generally do this with, I set a manual 4 beat or 1 bar loop, and then I will tighten the loop with the jog wheel. And then you can echo out the loop. You can add reverb, delay. This is reverb. In, out, then shift out. Now let's tighten the loop. Tighten the loop, just shift and out, not the 4 beat. Now I'm gonna apply some reverb, cut the highs, reverb. Now pad effects, and then we're gonna do an echo out. And that's a grand finale to end a set. You don't have to have a fancy grand finale transition though. You can simply just play the track until the end. But if you want to enhance your sets, EDM DJs in the past have done this at festivals. They've done the tightening loop transition, added effects like reverbs or delays, and then done an echo, and then that's the ending of their set. So that is what I like to call an acceleration loop transition. So again, you have scratch drop on the one, you have backspin, you have echo, you have the bass swap, which is the most common transition, especially for EDM DJs, and then you have loops. Loops is vital if you're a DJ that is playing mainstream music, top 40, pop, Latin, hip hop. You absolutely must know loops, especially 4 bars, 8 bars. Like these are loops that you must find in these tracks in order to do transitions more appropriately, because you're not always going to have these intro edits of songs. I mean, normally you should try to find the intro edits, but if you don't have songs with beats in the intro and the outro, you have to become more creative. Now, stem separation is going to help because now you can eliminate the vocals, so now we can almost cheat, but it still sounds wonky. So, but knowing loops is really the foundation of open format DJing. Okay, so those are the 5 transitions. So if you want to learn more about becoming a better DJ, then click on the next video here or here, and I'll see you in the next video.
3, 2, 1, lose it. Let's get